Hey everyone, it's your girl, the one and only MK. Okay, and today I will be showing you guys how to grow your curly hair past your shoulders. And as you can see, my hair is obviously past my shoulders. It's basically butt length. So I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to curls, you know what I'm saying? And I've got some pretty defined curls as well. So I'm gonna let you guys in on my curly hair routine, give you guys tips and tricks on how to grow your hair past your shoulders and how to maintain your curls so that not only will your hair be growing, but your hair will not be breaking. So you will be retaining the length. So let's get into it. So first of all, protecting your hair is a key point. So I'm taking it out of the bonnet, and I like to use these long braiders bonnets because otherwise it'll like scrunch my hair up really short. My hair has been in braids, so it's not as curly, but as you can see, my hair is obviously past my shoulders and very long. So first things first is scalp health. Every single time I wash my hair, before I even wash it, I do this pre-shampoo. And then my husband uses a pre-wash. We don't have any right now, but it's the paired to this leave-in, the anti-dandruff. But scalp health is everything. If you want your hair to grow, you have to take care of your scalp. And you have to figure out what works for you. But what works for me is this Miracle Moisture. So I absolutely love this product. And what I do is I section my hair off. So I'll start off with like a little piece in the back and pull the rest of it up. And then whenever you have your section, you put it into your hair, and then I detangle it. And that way, whenever you wash your hair and you shampoo it and everything, your hair is already detangled. So I feel like you get a better cleanse that way. It also acts as a moisturizer, so it's kind of like pre-deep conditioning your hair. Some people, what works for them is doing like an oil treatment before they wash their hair. Personally, I don't do that, but because that doesn't work for me, but I like to use this pre-wash. And see, my curls are already starting to bounce back, super juicy. You don't need to use any like water or anything. You just put in the pre-wash and gently brush through your hair. You also kind of have to figure out what brush works for you too. I like these Easy Tangler brushes. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, these Easy Tangler brushes, and like they open up like this. It came with this thing, so you see like these holes. It came with this thing that like will hold it together, so it can either be like a wide brush or a thinner brush. But what works for me is not even having those in there. And so if your hair is super tangled, you brush it like this, like straight up. If not, you do it like this. We also have a Denman brush, and there's different types of Denman brush. We have the D3. I think it's either a 9-row or a 7-row D3. But I don't prefer the Denman, honestly, on my hair. It just doesn't work as good. This to me is the best detangler, and you want to be gentle. So to be able to grow your hair, you don't want it to break. So you want to be gentle. And there we go. So I go through my entire head, make sure I've detangled all of it. So I'll do the rest off camera and I'll be right back. So now that my hair is all detangled, as you can see, I like to go back in and add just a little bit more to like my whole head and into my scalp as well, and brush my scalp. And that way it opens up your pores, and I feel like I get a better cleanse that way too whenever I actually shampoo my hair. And then personally, I have a very dry scalp. My husband has an oily scalp, so he doesn't typically apply as much product and oil to his scalp, but I do. So you have to find what works for you, and that's what works for me. So I like to moisturize it. I like to massage it into my scalp, and it moisturizes your scalp really well. And then I also put it throughout my hair. And I will talk about like different types of products. This is one of those products that you can put on your scalp, whereas there's some other creams and stuff that I would not put on your scalp. But this is one of those products that it's fine. And I'll talk about why in another video. I will have another video coming up talking about like how do you find your curly hair routine and stuff, and like how to know what type of product is what. I will have a video like that soon. yeah, so now I've got my hair pretty detangled, like I can run my hands through it, and that's what you want. And you will lose some hair, so curly hair sheds, but since it's curls, they curl and lock together. So until you brush it out, you don't usually like shed as much hair. So this is how much I lost just now. It's not very much since my hair is really long. It looks like a lot, but it's really not very much. But my hair is almost butt length. If I do this, it is. But it is pretty long. So what I like to do is I pull it up into a space bun. And just kind of wrap it into a space bun. And then I get one of these processing caps and put that on top. I have too much hair for it to cover like my whole head, but it covers mostly this. That's what you need. And that way it helps lock in the moisture and your hair doesn't dry out while the product is in your hair. I also do that whenever I use a deep conditioner too. So it's really nice. The processing caps that I have, I got this pack, 100 pack processing caps. The brand is called Diane. You can see better on this side, I think. But yeah, I ordered it. I think I ordered it on Amazon. I don't remember. That or I got it at a beauty supply. But yeah, so I'm gonna let my hair sit for 30 minutes to an hour, and then I like to just take this off in the shower and go ahead and wash it. I will tell you, I wash my hair with 2 shampoos. The first shampoo helps to cleanse and get all the products off, and then the second shampoo actually washes your hair. So the first shampoo I use is usually like a more penetrating shampoo, and like it'll dry you out. And then the second shampoo I use is usually more of like a moisturizing type shampoo. And I do want to tell y'all, this is not sponsored. You'll notice a trend after a while. You'll notice a trend with the brand that I use. It's just my favorite brand. Okay, it's not sponsored, but I wish. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit, and then I'll see you guys in the shower. So now that I've let this sit in my hair for about 30 minutes to an hour, I'm going to go ahead and rinse it out and start off with this Rosemary Mint shampoo. This shampoo has extra strength, so it really gets all of the product buildup off of my scalp. And in order for your hair to grow, you really want to cleanse your scalp and make sure that all of the product is off of your scalp, because how is your hair supposed to grow if your pores are clogged, you know? I like to use both my hands, and I also use a scrubbing utensil and massaging that into my scalp. You want to apply shampoo directly to your scalp. You don't want to apply it to your hair. The second one I use is the Strengthen and Restore Black Castor Oil Conditioner by Shea Moisture. This one is also pretty clarifying and strips your hair of all the oils, but it also moisturizes your hair a little bit too, and it's more of a protective hair product. And as I said earlier, you like to go ahead and get that all throughout your hair. You don't want to apply it to your hair, but you can moisturize it through your hair. Then I use the Manuka Honey Intensive Care, and I love this conditioner. This conditioner is very, very moisturizing and hydrating. So if you have dry hair, this one's for you. And in that same collection by Shea Moisture, they also have a deep conditioner or hair mask, and I absolutely love it. It works very well, especially in the winter time. Now, conditioner you do not want to put on your scalp. You just apply it in your hair, and I like to let that sit while I do my other shower things like shave and wash my body. So now that that has been sitting in my hair, I'll go ahead and brush it out. And you want to make sure that you thoroughly brush your hair with the conditioner in it. I don't brush my hair unless it has conditioner or the pre-shampoo or a detangler in it. Now, in the shower, I like to apply a wild hair growth oil. I love this wild growth oil. It is amazing. I apply it directly to my scalp in the shower. And I do this because my pores are still open in my hair, and I like to let it sit. And you guys, I apply a lot of this oil, and this is one of the only oils that I will apply directly to my scalp. You don't want to put it on your hair because an oil is a sealant, not a moisturizer. Then I use this microfiber towel. I got it off of Amazon in a 3-pack, and it hooks together, so you wrap your hair in it. My hair is a little too long, so I had to tuck it, but you wrap your hair in it, and I like to use this whenever I do my body wash and everything. Now that I am out of the shower and have done like my after shower routine, I can take my hair out of this towel. And if you hear a baby, I have a 5-month-old, but my husband is with her, so she's not alone. So I'll go ahead, hang that up. So as you can see, my hair is nice and washed. And if it was a deep conditioner day, you can deep condition your hair. Another way to grow your hair is to deep condition it. So if you want your hair to grow, it has to also not break. So in order to take care of the length and retain the length, you need to take care of your actual curls. And I will come out with a video on that as well. But some of the products, the deep conditioners that I have this Shea Moisture Deep Moisturizing Mask. And this one is super thick. I like this one for the winter time, and I'm almost out, as you can see. And then I also have this Shea Moisture Amla Oil Bond Repair Mask. This one reminds me of yogurt, but I like this one too. And then I've also had the other deep moisture one from Shea Moisture. And then I also have this Being brand. I really like this brand, actually. I have their shampoo too, but it's the Mega Shine Mask. And this one is also pretty much out, but there's still a little bit left in it. But deep condition your hair at least once a month. In the wintertime, I do deep condition my hair more often just because in the wintertime it is more dry outside. But I deep conditioned my hair the last time I washed it, so I'm not doing that today. But my hair is a little bit dry because there's no products in it. So the two products I use every single time I do my hair are the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Leave-In. I love this product. And then I also use the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Curl Enhancing Smoothie. And this right here is like my holy grail. I absolutely love this product. I use this every single time I do my hair. It's just too thick for my curls, so I use this to kind of water it down. This is more of like a oily, watery type. I know that doesn't mix, but it's a little more runny. So I use this first, and then I put this on top. So how I like to do my hair is I section it off again. And I do bigger sections this time when doing my curly hair routine at the end. But yeah, so section it off. And you're gonna need a spray bottle. I like these cheap ones. My husband has gotten me like a $10 one that like continuously sprays, and I honestly don't like it. I like this one just because I have more control, but this is just water. And I get my hair pretty wet. And then brush it. And then I'll do my products. So I am not one of those people that says a little bit goes a long ways. If you have curly hair, that does not apply to me. So, and I have thick hair. Like I have a lot of hair and it's thick. So I use the Strengthen and Restore first, the cream colored one first. And I put that all throughout my hair. Do not apply products to your scalp. Do not. These are not products you put on your scalp. So I just put it throughout my hair and just rake it. And you want to start about right here. No higher than that. Because you want to put these products on your hair. And then I go in with the Curl Enhancing Smoothie on top of that. And like, look how much more tame this is, you guys. Like, y'all see that? So much more tame. And then I just brush it through my hair. And I'll go ahead and do the other side. And I just put it like in a twist while I'm doing the other side. So make sure you get your hair nice and wet. So I'll put that in a little twist back to this side. So what I like to do is section it off again, and I just flip this over. And I like to do what's called brush styling or style brushing, either one. And you just use your brush, turn it a little bit, and then plop the curls. And like, it's really pretty. So that's what I like to do. Go through and, she's laughing, style brush the whole thing, like your whole head. And then I'll show you guys what I do after that. So, show you guys one more time with this last section. And there we go. So my curls. And I'll do the rest of it off camera. I'll be back whenever I'm done. Now that I finished with all of this, like putting the products in and stuff, I'm gonna let it air dry for a little bit. And what works for me is air drying for about 45 minutes to 2 hours, and then I blow dry it after that. So you don't want to, if you have a whole lot of hair, it's best to at least blow dry a little bit, because the longer your hair is wet, it can actually damage your hair. Some people will just immediately blow dry it. Some people will let it air dry the whole time. My sister and my husband both air dry their hair. But what works for me with the least amount of frizz and damage is air drying a little bit, and that lets my curls sit and do their own thing, and then I blow dry it. So I haven't put any mousse or gel in it right now, and I'll put that in afterwards. But like after it's sat and I blow dry it a little bit, I put in the mousse. But I'm gonna go ahead and let my hair dry just a little bit. And this is what it's looking like right now. Nice and long. And the curls look all cutesy and pretty. Real wet still, but yeah, I just let it dry a little bit and then I'll be back. So whenever I blow dry it is after I blow dry it is whenever I put the oils in my actual hair, and that will also help with hair growth. But for optimal hair growth, you have to find what works for you. So I'll be back whenever I'm ready to blow dry it and stuff. So my hair has dried quite a bit. I let it dry for about 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the mousse. I usually like to blow dry it just a little bit before I put the mousse in, but I'm short on time. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my mousse. So one thing that I will say is, like, you have to find what works for you. So you don't want to use a product that's going to make your hair break. So something that's going to be super, super crunchy in your hair will make your hair break. So I like to use this Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Mousse. And then I also have the Yo Fave Wrapper Mousse. I have it, it's in another room. I can go grab it in a moment. But I do have that mousse as well. I like to use that mousse in the winter time. This mousse I like to use more in the summertime. And then I've also got some gels. I have 2 different gels. I do not remember the brand of either one of them, but I have 2 different gels that I use. I prefer mousse though for my hair. I feel like gel breaks my hair, and hairspray is not for me. So yeah, and then whenever I use mousse, I'm not one of those a little bit goes a long ways. I use a bunch of mousse. So I apply it. And for me, on like the bottom of my hair, like the underneath, I like to apply praying hands. And then on the top, I do a scrunch. So that's what works for me. But you don't want to use something that's going to dry you out either. So like alcohol-based mousses, you don't want to use those because those will dry you out. You want to make sure that you're using something for curly hair, because if you use a mousse that's like for like white people hair, even if you are white and your hair is straight or your hair is curly, it's typically for straight hair. So you want to make sure that it's for curly hair, otherwise you're going to damage your hair, and the more damage you have, the hair is not going to grow. So, and another thing I will say you need to do is frequently trim your hair. It does take a while for your hair to grow, but frequently trimming it, like at least every 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 months, trimming your hair just a little bit and get the dead ends off. Because the more like dead split ends you have, they're gonna break off, and then your hair is just gonna keep breaking, and you're gonna be like, why isn't my hair growing? So, and that happened to me for a while. I finally learned I needed to get rid of the split ends, and you might go backwards before you go forwards with the split ends, but you want to make sure that you're getting them all off. And you guys, I'm like drenching my hair with this mousse, but it has a good hold, so I want to make sure that I get enough in my hair. And if you're not like all messy and stuff by the time you're done doing your hair, you didn't do it right. You don't actually have curls. Dang. I just dropped some on the floor. Need to buy more. Make sure that you get up in there too. And then I don't apply oil until my hair is dry, but like I said, like you have to find what works for you. This is what works for me. And then I go in and I blow dry my hair. Now when blow drying your hair, I do it on all the way hot until I touch my hair. So I hover first and then I scrunch. So when you start to scrunch, you don't want to go extra hot, because if you go too hot, you're going to start heat damaging your hair and your hair will break. Thus forth, it's not going to grow. Wow. So let me rinse my hands. So you want to make sure it's not too hot, and I'm going to go ahead and blow dry it off of camera. I've had a blow dry routine before that I posted for you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and blow dry it off camera, and then I'll show you guys how I do my oil, and then yeah, that's that. So now that I'm done, there's two different oils that I like to use. They're both Shea Moisture, but I have the biotin and multi-peptide, the anti-hair fall due to breakage, this. And then I have another one in there that's full. And then I also have the rosemary and vegan collagen strengthening scalp and hair oil, also by Shea Moisture, this one. So I like to use both of these. The anti-hair fall, I typically use higher on my head, and then the strengthening one, I use lower. And then you can also use, like you can use any kind of oil really, but oil is very important with growing your hair. A, because it's good for your scalp, it's good nourishment. But B, it also helps to strengthen your hair. And if your hair doesn't break, then that means it's gonna grow. So the best thing about like growing your hair is you have to also maintain it. And like I said earlier, I will be coming out with a video on how to maintain your hair, because like I said, like my hair was growing really fast for a while, but I didn't know how to take care of it. Like I did not know how to maintain my hair. So it was just breaking all the time, and I didn't know what to do about it. And so like if you see like a bunch of like little short hairs like this big every time you do your hair, that means your hair is breaking. So you want to make sure that you can reduce your breakage, and the way that you do that is taking better care of your hair, using better oils, stuff like that. And I will make a video soon on like why your hair is frizzy and stuff like that, which should also help. But yeah, you just have to kind of figure out your own hair. So another way like to keep your hair growing and stuff is you have to figure out your hair. So if you don't know how your hair works and like what products you need, that's a problem. And I will also be coming up with a video soon on that, coming up with like how to do your own curly hair routine, like how to know what products to use and stuff. So if you don't know what products to use, how are you supposed to have a curly hair routine, you know? And you can't just do the routine that everybody else does, you know? You kind of have to come up with what works for you. So now that I've got the oil all in my hair, I like to blow dry it one more time on, not like cold, but like on warm, just so that can help open up the pores, and then it can sink into my hair, and then I'm completely done. But I'm gonna go ahead and end off the video here anyways, because I'm about to leave the house. But this is the hair. I'll get a little bit closer for you guys, for the ones in the back who can't see. So yeah, these are the curls. Minimal frizz, lots of shine. And the first couple days, I don't do my edges. I just kind of push them back like this. And I don't like to do my edges the first couple days after I do my hair. But then after that, I will do my edges, and I'll have like an edge routine and everything too. But yeah, this is the hair. And I have now given you guys tips and tricks on how to grow it past your shoulders and maintain it a little bit, while also letting you guys in on my curly hair routine. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Y'all be blessed in Jesus' name.